Today on this SHOKY third-party Transformers review, I'm going to take a look at something sort of new from Planet X, and it is their PX-21 Mars, and it is their version of Fall of Cybertron Ironhide, and this is the first one that really changes up the look of the packaging. First of all, it's tiny. Like, this is like a big cell phone box. Second of all, it doesn't do the chest drawing, which kind of makes me sad, actually. I mean, it's just got this version or image of the toy or figure, or whatever you want to say. And then you got, Mars in pink, which I think is kind of strange. I guess it's going for the Energon look. I don't know. Got age 16 plus. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. And you come around to this side, and you got him in vehicle mode, which is interesting. This really makes it look more like a different, like a regular third-party company, so to speak, where Planet X has always set themselves aside as being something different. And here you got bot mode and vehicle mode together, kind of a Energon glow going to the axe, which is a bunch of BS. And you got the barcode there for them getting it in the thing. Made in China, 2019, cool. I did pick this up from Big Bad Toy Store. It's available anywhere you buy third-party Transformers, really. There's another shot of him in bot mode, and you come to the bottom, you got PX-21 Mars, and then the top, same thing. So, well, that's pretty much it. So let's take a quick look at the stuff that was in the box. And you do get a little plastic, sheath, so to speak, and you get the instructions. And I will say, for Planet X, these are not bad instructions. For one, you get kind of a character poster there. I did run over it with my chair, so that's why it's a little messed up. You got barcodes there, or not barcodes, QR codes. That's Facebook. I don't know what that is. Sorry, I'm getting sleepy all of a sudden. But you come back to the back here, and one, they shrunk their instructions. But these actually aren't terrible. Like, you can actually see them, which is something. It does tell you how to get from bot to vehicle mode. He does come in bot mode. Now, there is a thing here that, at least mine was minorly transformed. It was this part right here. I'll go over it. When we do transform, I'll show that part, because one, it's a really hard part to do. But second, it's just something that wasn't done. Now, this is funny. So you see right here on 27, it says next image. And it does this zoom in on the hips, I guess, to help you line up whatever that is. So, yeah, for Planet X instructions, it's not terrible. He's also not super hard to transform. So that's that. And he does come with a new character card. Still this super hefty plastic, like a credit card. Except that, it's got the box artwork. I really do miss the, hand-drawn kind of look and then stuff like that. But on the front here, he's got bot mode, just like the packaging. On the back, he's got vehicle mode. And then the tech specs. Look. It says strength and skill. It's all the same thing. As far as I can tell, everything is spelled right. This is the first, no joke, first Planet X figure that everything here is spelled right. Though I do wish they had made this a different color for design purposes. Like blue would have been better, just so that it stands out against that red and black background a little bit better. But yeah, there's the character code. That's cool. I mean, I still have most of them. It'll go back in the box like everything else. So let's go ahead and get him out here. Here we go. I'm going to have to kill off a couple lights here, reduce some glare. But there we got Ironhide in his Cybertronian van mode, which is pretty neat. It's funny that he actually kind of shares some design inspiration with Fall of Cybertron Onslaught, at least the toy. I'm going to see if I can bring it up here. If I can't, it won't be there. If it does, you can see. Actually, Rodimus 13 brought that up to me. I had the combiner, or the Autobot combiner version of Bruticus, and yeah, there was a vehicle that very much looked like this. But of course, this is not meant to combine in any way. He does look really good. There's not really any visible anything syndrome, and I like that, except for this extra Autobot logo. By the way, Reaper labels all there. Nice grill here, pink on there, painted black as well. Kind of hard to tell. I guess, it's paint on both. And then you got the Energon headlights, so to speak. And I couldn't tell originally, but that spot in there is in fact painted. Different repo label there because I ran out of the 3D ones, so to speak. But I'm also going to get Ratchet, and he's going to have very similar labeling. Silver-ish plastic here, silver-ish paint there. Same thing going on here. Nice molded detail, stuff like that. Some more energon glow going down the side. He does have semi-translucent wheels inside the wheels. Hard to see, but it's there. Actually, if I turn it over, you can really see it. I like this silver paint with the pink paint thrusters that are underneath, so I guess he's meant to lift off. I don't know. Then come around the back, got some black paint here for rear windows, I guess. Some darker red paint on top of the red plastic. Some tail lights there, some darker red paint over whatever the heck that is. Wait a minute, with those holes, will they do a combiner out of this later? Because there's, other than, yeah, there's no reference for those holes. I mean, those are just kind of pinholes, I guess. Because these are movable parts on the feet. Weird. I mean, they could. I mean, they are just pinholes, but still. I like that you can sort of see some thrusters hiding underneath there. And then you got the painted windows, but what's really strange is they go super gloss black here, matte black there. Sort of missed a tick there. And then a translucent windshield here with the head sort of down in there. They believe that is red plastic, and darker red paint there, darker red paint there. It looks nice. It really does. And I only have one real comparison, and that is to Prime. And unfortunately, Prime doesn't have any translucent on. It would be kind of cool if he did. But you can see they're actually very similar in size. Optimus is just barely bigger. But as it goes, like Planet X aesthetic is still there, even to this degree. Now they have just recently done the metallic version of this Prime. I don't think I'll get it. If I could ever get my hands on one for review purposes, I would definitely take a look at it, because it definitely reminds me of the Takara version I have, all super done up, stuff like that. I think the main problem with Ironhide is slightly different than Prime. The red doesn't let anything else stand out. Because there's just a lot of red. Now, from what I saw, Ratchet has a little bit of different molding, but not majorly different. So it's interesting that they end up having a very similar side vehicle mode, despite the fact that in bot mode they're not going to be close in size, really. But Optimus isn't massive in this variation anyway, so it is what it is. Now, Ironhide does come with weapons, as usual. He does have his machine gun here. Well, obviously, we'll see it more in bot mode. Molded in black, and then some pink paint. And then there's the big post. Even has a little hole for blast effect. Unfortunately, unlike other Planet X figures, there's no good way to mount weapons to him. He has these perfectly good holes here that are only really there for transformation, but unless you get like an upward angle on it, the weapons are kind of useless in this mode. You can do that, but that sucks. And then like his axe, there's really nothing you can do. I don't think nothing even comes apart on this, does it? No. And it has a post down here, like it could plug into something, so I guess if you wanted to, you can take out some knees along the way if you're really feeling like it. You know, like that, I guess, is the thing you could do. So, I mean, there's a tiny bit of playability, but in comparison to a lot of the others with the way their weapons interact in bot mode, or I'm sorry, in vehicle mode, it's a big change. See, like, let's see. So there's Optimus X, which has the big peg on the side. Will that get there? No, not quite. Oh well. Wait, hold on. Okay, I was gonna say, does it have a similar molded axe? No. Also, this is molded in red, and everything else is generally molded in orange. So it's one thing that bothers me, the inconsistency between the line. But it is what it is. Okay, so let's try to do the transformation thing. And I say try, because I'm definitely going to need the spudger. So he does crack kind of like an egg sometimes, but it is what it is. He doesn't have a terrible transformation, but it's not 100% intuitive. I did, however, transform it the first time without looking at the instructions. Not going to brag. The patrons got to actually see that before you guys. So, you know, if you'd like to see stuff when I first get it out of the box and you know, watching me fumble with a transformer for the first time, by all means, go do that. And there's also a lot of other stuff I do on the Patreon. Now, that is going to be nearly impossible to do with just your fingers, so if you don't have a spudger, I'm sorry. Come down here, flip up the little toesies, and then we're just going to drop that down, and you can tell, like, it had a couple posts that were holding that in place. It's also having to clear these knees. That really does it. Next up, we want to just lift up on this, and this, they just slot in over these little tabby tabs right here. And you can see we're basically going to make the legs happen. So this is tabbed in here. These are tabbed in under here. And then there's kind of a tab going on there, mostly just for alignment purposes. So you just want to kind of pull down and back. You'll see it just, yeah. So that little guy right there, tabbed in right in there. And then this guy hooked up under there. And then make sure everybody's clear. And we'll just kind of extend the legs and get your fingers stuck. So these bits you just want to let hang out. You can split the legs there. These are severely tabbed together, so just be warned. I wish they kind of found a different way to do that, so it's this really massive like T-shaped tab there. Just be careful. So you want to do that. Then you can split the legs. And you start seeing a lot more detail. Go ahead and rotate these 180 that way, and then 180 that way. This was the thing that I had to figure out after the instructions, because I couldn't make it clearance anything. So rotate that way. And you can see right here, especially this one, you really got to make sure you do that. So there's our feeties done. And then, okay, so we need to fill in the legs here. So we want to close this guy. You want to pull this section out. It just rotates, and then got an alignment tab. Flip that up, and then that'll tab in there. You can get a hole there, and then that will close just like that. And then you've got a peg there, hole there. Go ahead and tab it down, which makes him a lot like Optimus. Very similar leg transformation. And then this guy, you got a hole there, tab there. And then you just close down the leg. And now we're going to do the same thing over here. So we want to pull out, rotate, rotate up. Go ahead and close that. Peg that down, clear that down, plug that in, straighten up the knee, bring down the shin like so. There we go. Then we got the lower half of the body done, and that's one of the issues. So we'll rotate at, oh, nope, we can't just yet, sorry. You got to come in here. We got these little wasty deals. Hold on, let me, there we go. I don't even know how much that was on camera. I apologize. So you want to come up here and rotate those forward. That was another thing that you don't quite intuit. You just find out that stuff is in the way as you're trying to transform them. And then once again, spudger comes in handy there. So you need that down to clearance this. So you want to rotate them around. So now you've got everybody facing this way, and you've definitely probably scraped some paint, but you know, whatever. Now, we got to do a lot of work up here on the front. So all of this is kind of tabbed in together in virtually every direction, but the main direction you need to go is forward to get it off of these little tabs right there in front of the Autobot logo, which, by the way, repo labels, as I already covered. And then honestly, it just sort of starts unfolding after that. You can see a little bit better under here. So these are the arms. They tuck in right here through these little spring-loady guys. And then these are just tabbed together. So we can just split those. This is one of the times where it's way harder to get to alt mode. Also, you get a lot of scrapage here on the back of the arms, so that kind of sucks. And so you can really see what's happening. It's hard because his legs are in the way. Come up a little bit more. You really want to go ahead and just untab here. That's kind of stuck. Extend the arm just to give yourself some room to work. And then you're going to rock the shoulder out. And then that whole thing goes out. So that's on a slider in there. Flatten out the shoulder. push that in. Some things just go really fast. Go ahead and try to drop the shoulder all the way down as best you can. And then this is still on a hinge. Now come back over here. And this shoulder is the problem child. Because, is that arm translucent? Or am I just seeing a gap? That arm, I think the arm is translucent. That's frightening. So this shoulder is stupid tight. Like, ugh. Like, if I can get to the screw that holds that in place, I would definitely loosen it. Because that is so ridiculously tight. But then again, I don't know how many more times I might transform him. So, there's that. Ow, that was really pointy, by the way. So, slide that out. Okay, so that's about as good as that's going to get. Go ahead and tuck that guy in. We've already got the arm down. I really wish the wheels had somewhere to go. They're just, like, super in the way of everybody. And then we want to go ahead and flip the hands out just because we're here. Like that. The thumbs are that way. So, just go ahead and rotate up. That will tab into the other side of the hand. So that, flip him up, rotate up, tabs in the bottom side of the hand. Now we want to go after the backpack here, which is a bunch of smudges. It is on a spring-loaded dealie, so you got to pull it out. Go ahead and flip the head up and out of the way. Then we're going to try our best to rotate this up without catching on every damn thing. And as you can tell, that's virtually impossible to do. Okay, so if we let that line back up like so. And then we need to get those inside. So you can go one at a time. It'll barely clearance this section. Go ahead and do that one. And now this is the part of the instructions that I told you was wrong out of the box. And it's this. And actually, I think I just screwed myself ever so slightly on that deal. Hold on. Let's pull that back. Push those out. Okay. So that's an important step there. I didn't even realize. So to get those lined up, you do have to pull that back out. And then, actually, you do have to pull this back too. Okay. So to clearance this, you got to pull all that back. That's annoying. So you got this nice translucent piece that I guess is just meant to fill in behind the head, but I mean, I guess just so that there's not a horrendous gap there. I don't know. It's just there. I mean, it'd be nice if it really tucked away or something like that. It might have more to do on Ratchet than it does on Ironhide. Okay, so we're almost done. So we want to take these parts. You can see they're on a little ball joint there. Just rotate this forward so the hollow part is facing there, and then just tag it down. This seems to just be like, we got to find somewhere to put this. Like, it doesn't serve a purpose other than slightly cover the shoulder gap, which really doesn't do you any good if you're kind of flex him. But I think we are done. It looks like we're done. And equalize the feet a little bit, and there we go. There we have an Ironhide in robot mode, and he looks good. I like it. You know, it's got a little bit of that game aesthetic, but also some G1-ness to him. I really, really dig this face sculpt. Blue, blue metallic eyes, gunmetal face, kind of Spartan look to him. Still got the top ridge on his head there. The what almost like a camera is painted pink inside there, which is cool. He has light piping. You guys see the obvious problem with the fact that he has light piping, right? So that was clearly a design flaw because they were definitely going for non-painted eyes first and then gave him light piping. So that's stupid. Ball joint mounted head, and then it does have the little thing there so he can look back, and then you screw this up again. Kind of wish that could flip all the way, but it is what it is. Arms are kind of limited, so you do get the shoulder hinge here, and then if you really want to try to manipulate this big honking shoulder, you can. I don't think it'll go down any further. Nope, that's about as good as that gets. Okay, so that's good, and it does rotate through there. Once again, just got to watch that. And watch any painted surfaces. The shoulder armor does tilt, like we saw, for transformation purposes. Does have a 90-degree-ish elbow, except for the fact the wheel totally gets in the way. Hits all of this. Part of me wishes like this could have come up and flipped forward. I think that would have looked a little bit better. Would have given you a little bit more room to move too, and that's as far as the arm goes, so that's not useful. Get a little bit of black paint there. Got some silver pistons inside here, right next to the screw. Wrist does rotate. Fingers do open. Of course, he'll hold his weapons. We'll show that off eventually. Got more paint there. We remember this paint from earlier. Hopefully it's not all scraped up. He does have waist rotation. Just be careful because of that backpack. And you do get some cool like silver accents there, sort of simulating like this was the grill area in a way. Like, it's weird how they emulate, like, this is supposed to look like that, and also that's all translucent, so it is really trying to emulate what the grill should look like. Spring-loady bits there. Hold on, I'll rotate so you can see the side detail, so that's always nice when they do that, to be totally honest. We already see all the nice gunmetal-y colors down here on the crotch, and then pink Energon stuff going on there. We've got the no knees logo there. Actually, some black paint right there. Looks good. Same thing there. A lot of the vehicle details, of course, popping out here, looking a little bit different. And then all of the cool mechanical stuff inside here. My biggest problem with this whole guy is that he is made out of that really questionable, not quite translucent red plastic, but like if you held a good light up to it, I bet it would glow. And then the fact that he has translucent and random spots, like right in here, you know, stuff like that. And then like what looks like the bicep is, how did I even see that? Like maybe it's just a reflection. Maybe it's a reflection off the wheels that I was seeing that made it look like the arm was translucent. But honestly, the head sculpt just does it for me. And then I put the 3D Autobot logo there. I think that just makes it pop a little bit more. I've been trying to use those on these figures, but he looks awesome. So let's give him his weapons. We already looked at him. So there's the gun. He holds it okay. It just sort of blopped into his wrist. This is one of those times that I kind of wish the gun would mount in the slot hole, so to speak. I wonder, like, because that's an interesting shape. There. Let's test a theory. A game theory. So look, that 100% looks like it could slot into that hand. Like, look at that. Like, tell me that doesn't look like that should slot in to a hand hole. Like, I bet there's one of these, I bet, that will totally do that. Because that is a very, very purposeful shape. Like, that should... Yeah, like, I bet you could do it, like if you had the right thing, because that's even shaped like the hole in his hand. So that's unfortunate. They're like, it looks like they make that plan and then don't follow through, because of course with the Fall of Cybertron stuff, their arms turned into the guns, like, and the only person I can't talk so far that does that, or bot that does that, is Optimus. Nobody else does. And well, I mean, it's kind of a shame. Where's his axe? Give him his axe as I'm bemoaning that. Because seriously, they made that to where it definitely could slot into something. But that's about the simplest gun they've made so far. No sliding gimmicks, no anything else on it that would indicate it could do something cool. But there, he's got his axe. You've got my axe. I really wish that this was not in the way, because like the wheel super hinders articulation. Like, he can't really turn up the guns and stuff. And I will say that even though he has ankle rockers, maybe it's just that it's on this glass surface and too smooth. Like, it's kind of problematic to a degree. And the same type of hands they always have, so there's that. I mean, it looks fine. It's just like underwhelming to some degree. And now I really wish that gun could plug into something. It's kind of sad. Really wish this wheel had somewhere to go. Like, even if the wheel could rotate back into here, which it can't do, it's literally fixed in place, that would be perfect. So somebody like Dr. Wu or somebody needs to fix that. So let's bring out Primer Armor. And like I said, they're roughly the same size. Like, Actually, I think I even said that he's smaller than Prime, and I mean barely. And of course, Optimus is a lot chunkier here. So, I mean, it's that. It looks fine. I still love Optimus, except for the fact his face keeps getting chipped and stuff like that. And I'm really kind of scared to keep transforming him because he's made of this swirly metallic plastic. The Ironhide feels denser, but also not super solid at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. There's something about Planet X's quality in the last couple of years that has just gone a hair downhill. It's like their details and stuff have gone uphill. The quality of the plastics feels questionable. And of course, if you wanted to give him the much larger axe, you kid. You can give him a sword, you can give him whatever. But that's that. But overall, hold on. But overall, in conclusion, Ironhide's good. I mean, like, I got him for like 89, I think. So he's one of the cheaper ones. He's less advanced, so to speak. And I'll have to give Ratchet as well, like, because they just go together. And other than the Seekers, it's one of the few that is like a new mold of a new character of the same body type. I mean, Ultra Magnus is Prime, but that's a Prime with stuff thrown on it. Whereas, of course, Ironhide and Ironhide and Ratchet will share virtually every panel, but I know they change up the shoulders a bit. Obviously, Ratchet's probably going to have some kind of light bar. Head sculpt is very different. Actually, the chest mold is very different on him. And he comes with different weaponry. He comes with a really cool, I think it's supposed to be like a spark extractor gun as well. So, hoping to get him sometime soon. I have so much stuff to buy right now, and just kind of waiting. Plus, I had to pay for all the shipping on the MS100 contest. So, but that's going to be it for this review, guys. Give me a big old thumbs up. Hit that like and subscribe button. I already said the thumbs up thing. And, of course, go subscribe to the secondary channel because, frankly, we can't let Rodimus 13 get too far ahead of us. I need to hit 220 sometime soon on the secondary channel. So go over there and subscribe to that. I'm going to try to be doing a little bit more content on that side. But till then, guys, go make sure you check out the Taro video for him if you want to see how to get him into vehicle mode, which is interesting to say the least. But I will see you guys next time. Remember, as always, keep on nerding.